I wanted to see whether B2M could actually do something more for iClone than iClone wasn't already doing for itself quite happily from the inside. So let's take a look then inside iClone. Here we've got two simple objects which are mapped with the same texture. The one above is a standard iClone. Let's have a look here. It's a standard diffuse with the bump, and I've stuck in the diffuse as a specular as well. I like to do that. I like the way that works. You may criticize, but it works for me. Anyway, the bottom line is that diffuse and that bump, and that's the iClone system. The lower one is the system that's been created with the B2M. Now let's get rid of this light and put in the a small point light. Now I was interested to see, because this is a very intense graphic anyway. I mean, even if you made this flat and put it in the background on a wall, it looks good. Whether your lighting does come from upper right back or not, it's a good looking graphic. So what I wanted to see was, after making that bump maps and then the one at the bottom using B2M to texture and artificially three-dimensionalize it, I wanted to see how the two compared. It's all very well seeing it on the B2M videos, it looks good and it's impressive, but that top one looks impressive in iClone anyway. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty and see what's going on. So let's move that light. Let me just straighten up here. Let's move this light to the left and right. Let's go up to the top one first of all and look at what the light does there. Now, for all intents and purposes, that's kind of 3D. We can see the light on the hair and the light on their backs. The muscles are moving around very nicely. It's three-dimensionalized. I mean, if you saw that on a wall and somebody was in an old cavern or an old cellar and that was on the wall and they were walking past with torchlight, there'd be a nice 3D effect with that. But let's have a look at the bottom one. This is the results of B2M. And this is what I was looking for. I was trying to see exactly... Look at the difference there. That's impressive. I'll put the light right up against it and move that around. The muscles and the shape of the back, however it does it, for whatever reason, that looks good. That is very, very, very good. Okay, so let's just drop this down again and come in there and do another comparison. Pick the light up, bring the light up halfway. Comparatively look at these shoulders here and look at the degree of shape, the impressive degree of shape we've got there and not there. So remember, the one at the top is the standard iClone system. It works, but it's not doing what the lower system has done. I like that. The dimple on his cheek versus the one at the top, all the lights moving there on the shape of his face. That's good. I wanted to see this. Unfortunately, I had to spend what amounts to £50 or £60 to realise that it did work, and it was a 50-50 thing. It could. The way I interpreted B2M when I first saw it was a beautiful piece of software. You put in a graphic and it makes your diffuse and the reflection and the bump map and etc. in one go without having to doctor and change things around yourself in whatever graphic software you happen to use. So it could have been that I bought this and it did exactly what you can do inside iClone anyway, but with far finer tuning and control. And I know that sounds cruel, but I wanted to see this comparison in the tutorial. I wanted to see that. I know a flat graphic is flat and there's no shape to it whatsoever. There is a small glimpse there of the flat graphic. But that's very, very, very good. that is impressive, and hats off to the people who wrote this software. Okay, let's take the point light source away and go into the direct one now. Let's just come around to the side, pick up on that lower one, and look at what's going on. Let me just lift the top one out of the way for a second. Okay. It kind of has the motion of the specular or reflectivity gives it a little feeling of 3D. So if that was on a wall and you were panning past it, you get the impression. This, you're left with no doubt that that arm is coming out of that picture. The one thing also I found misleading about the B2M advertisements, and I don't mean to be too critical and I'm not being negative, but when I saw those pillars and columns, unless I haven't done something here and I've missed something out completely, when I go flat on sideways there, that's a perfect vertical line. It's not shaped and bumped. It's a beautiful illusion of three-dimensionality as you come by. It dies at about that point. And it dies at about that point with no light on, obviously, but anyway. But there, that is gorgeous. You've got, I would say, a 90-degree play of realism. If we compare that to the iClone with just the diffuse and the bump, it doesn't happen. I like this. I'm impressed. I really think this is something special. So, it was a good purchase, and there's a lot more learning than I need to do, and a lot more experimentation. Another thing that really impressed me with the B2M software is its ability to randomize the tiling system for the ground. That is something I really want to work on, because I want to get something good for the earth sculpture land models that I did for the Chinese garden. If I'm quick enough, I can actually improve the lawns and the ground surface in the Chinese garden that I've got, the authentic Chinese recreation that I've done from the Qin dynasty. So for now, top marks. This absolutely works for me. We can see there the shape and the form of the lower one versus the lacking shape on the upper. I would say that B2M is worth anyone's time and money if they're considering fine-tuning their graphics in this fashion within iClone.